So in this tutorial we're going to look at the area of a semicircle, and just before we begin we're going to remind ourselves what the formula of an area of a circle would be. So the formula for the area of a circle would be pi times radius squared. Okay, and so we basically analyze the question and see, the first step would be to see whether we have the radius or not, because that's what we want. In this particular question we do have the radius. They have given us the radius is 7 centimeters, which is good for us. However, in some questions they would give us the actual diameter, in which this case the diameter would be 14. Now if they did give us the diameter, just before we begin doing any calculations we would half 14 to get 7, and that would be our radius. So before we begin, just make sure that you have the radius as opposed to the diameter. So the first step would be, we're gonna do this question first. We're gonna answer in terms of pi. We're gonna simply substitute our radius. So instead of doing pi times r squared, we're gonna actually put the number 7 in terms of radius. So 7 squared, and 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is actually 49. And so we have 49 pi. Now we have to be very careful. This here is not the answer yet, because 49 pi would be the area of a full circle that had a radius of 7. However, this question is asking us to find out the answer of a semicircle with a radius of 7, and a semicircle is simply half of a circle. So we would get our 49 pi, which would be our next step, 49 pi, and we would divide that by 2, and that would give us 24.5 pi. Now that is the answer in terms of pi. If we had to give our answer to 1 decimal place, we would simply, so that's basically part A done. If they wanted the answer in terms of a decimal number, we would take our pi answer and put that into our calculator. So 24.5 pi, and see what we get in our calculator, and actually we get 76.969, and it carries on for a bit, but that's all we need. We need to round to 1 decimal place. So if we remember how to round to 1 decimal place, that's our first decimal number. We would look at the next number, which is 6. Because it's 5 or above, we would round that 9 and add 1 to it, which would make it 10. However, we can't have 10 in one place value, so we have to pass it along, and it would actually become 77.0 centimeters squared. And it's very, very important that we don't forget the units for the area would be squared, whatever measurement we're using. So even for that one would be centimeters squared. And that's basically how you work out the area of a semicircle in terms of pi, and the area of a semicircle in terms of a given level of accuracy. Thank you very much.